Davante Adams has stood the test of time as one of the best receivers to play in the NFL over the past decade.
You know, it was hard to put anybody up over Devante in the receiver category just with the season he had.
Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that he has consistently put up the numbers that made him one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Man, he's at the top. Davante Adams, you're at the top of the wide receiver list.
An all-world receiver. At that moment of truth, once again, it's Davante Adams winning.
But did you know that 8 other wide receivers were selected before him in the 2014 draft? That's kind of a misleading statement because the 2014 draft was absolutely stacked with talent. How have their careers stacked up against the 2-time All-Pro and Aaron Rodgers' favorite target? Well, let's take a look at where these receivers are now, both on and off the field. Today, we take a look back at one of the best draft classes and give them a grade on their careers in the NFL. It's been over 10 years since the 2014 NFL draft, and it's time to take a look back and evaluate all of those talented college football wide receivers that made it to the NFL. For those of you who don't remember the 2014 class, it was filled with a whole lot of talent, and you can even say that this class had some of the best wide receivers to ever play the game. One of those receivers is Davante Adams, but his scouting reports weren't as favorable as his other receivers in his draft class, and the Fresno State standout dropped to the second round of the draft. Sammy Watkins entered the league with sky-high expectations. The Buffalo Bills traded up to draft Watkins, sacrificing future first-round picks to get the playmaker from Clemson.
Why do you act so much older than you really are?
I think because it's something I really want to do in life and actually make it to the next level. And I take it very serious and I actually take time and look at the little things and not just going to touchdown and just running around.
It was a pretty good deal if you ask me. Think about it. The Bills move up 5 spots in a trade with the Cleveland Browns, and in return, the Bills give Cleveland their 9th overall pick, along with their 1st and 4th round picks in the 2015 draft. Cleveland got the raw end of that deal since they decided to pick up cornerback Justin Gilbert in that number 9 spot, along with offensive lineman Cameron Irving from Florida State in the 2015 first round pick. And that hard-hitting safety from Northwestern, Ibrahim Campbell, for that 4th round selection. Watkins had a promising rookie season with over 900 receiving yards and 65 catches with 6 touchdowns, which was pretty good despite a nagging hip injury and shaky quarterback play by E.J. Manuel. His best statistical year came in 2015 with 1,047 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. However, injuries derailed his career, limiting his consistency. Over the years, Watkins became a popular journeyman, playing for the Rams, Chiefs, Ravens, and Packers. His brief stop in Kansas City proved to be the highlight of his career. Watkins played a pivotal role in the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl 54 victory, notably burning an aging Richard Sherman in the 4th quarter. On the field, Sammy Watkins was a dynamic player throughout his career. Off the field, he is known for his quirky personality. Watkins made headlines for his philosophical tweets and beliefs in alternate realities. I'm not sure if he went to the same darkness retreat as Aaron Rodgers, but he had some interesting thoughts about the world. Watkins' last year in the NFL was in 2022 and was inducted into the Clemson Hall of Fame earlier this year. And Dabo Swinney is working to get him back to Clemson to finish his degree and potentially join the Tigers staff as a coach. Other than that, Watkins has focused on family and mentoring younger players. Overall grade for Sammy Watkins' career in the league, B-. After Sammy Watkins was drafted 4th overall, Tampa Bay took a shot at picking the next great wide receiver for their franchise. They decided to land Mike Evans with their 7th overall pick. Mike Evans has undoubtedly lived up to his draft billing.
1,000 yards for 10 years in a row, Mike Evans.
He holds the NFL record for consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start a career.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, in my opinion, I've been saying for years now, I don't know why they always leave him out of all the rankings or whatever it may be, but he's a top 3 receiver in this league every single year.
Consistently serving as a dominant target for quarterbacks Jameis Winston, Tom Brady, and now Baker Mayfield. Although he only received 1 target and 1 catch in the Super Bowl, Evans was instrumental in the Buccaneers Super Bowl 55 win, catching a 31-yard pass from Tom Brady, but more importantly, drawing 4 penalties throughout the game. Evans became the fastest player in Buccaneers history to reach 10,000 career receiving yards. On the field, Mike Evans has been just as good, if not better, than Davante Adams in the comparison as the best receiver coming out of the 2014 draft class. The 6'5" big man out of Texas A&M looks like he still has a lot left in his tank and will be a shoo-in for a first ballot Hall of Fame selection as soon as he decides to call it a career. Off the field, did you know that Mike Evans has a children's book? Yup, he decided to publish his very own children's book called The Middle School Rules of Mike Evans. He has a charity called the Mike Evans Family Foundation, and he decided to use his charity and ghostwriter Sean Jensen to tell his story about life growing up with a lot of adversity in middle school in Galveston, Texas. By the way, the book is on Amazon if you want to take a look at it. Mike Evans is an all-around talented athlete and has given the Bucs a decade of amazing memories. Coming after Evans in the draft at number 12 overall were the New York Football Giants. And I think we all know which wide receiver they decided to pick up in 2014.
With the 12th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Odell Beckham.
OBJ himself, Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ burst onto the scene with one of the greatest rookie seasons ever, capped by his iconic one-handed touchdown catch against the Cowboys. A three-time Pro Bowler in his first 3 seasons, injuries and several controversies impacted his career after his rookie contract. After stints with the Browns, Beckham found redemption playing for the Rams. In a short but amazing performance in Super Bowl 56, Beckham made an impactful touchdown before suffering a torn ACL knee injury in the second quarter after a pass from quarterback Matt Stafford bounced off his hands. Unfortunately, like all ACL tears, this one took months to recover from. And in 2021, the news wouldn't get any better for OBJ. Still, his one-handed catch has been immortalized as one of the greatest plays in NFL history and made OBJ a global celebrity. His hairstyle, along with his colorful personality, earned him endorsements with Nike. And in an interesting move, he decided to convert his entire $750,000 salary from the Los Angeles Rams into Bitcoin back in 2021. I think we all know how much Bitcoin is worth today, and Odell Beckham Jr. has been pretty busy with his other business ventures off the field, making real estate investments and investing in startups in the esports and the fintech world. Drafted 20th overall by the New Orleans Saints is another all-star receiver, Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has quietly been one of the most productive wide receivers of his era, posting 6 1,000-yard seasons with 4 different teams. Known for his speed and deep threat ability, Cooks has played for the Saints, Patriots, Rams, Texans, and Cowboys. Despite his success, he's been traded multiple times in his career, 4 to be exact.
Why do you think joining the Cowboys would be a good move for you?
First of all, I'm honored. Obviously, you think about the Dallas Cowboys growing up, I'm just honored and thankful.
He was consistently performing for whichever team he played for, especially the Rams, where he had a career-high 1,204 receiving yards and helped them reach Super Bowl 53 to face off against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Still, Cooks on the field was a phenomenal wide receiver, and with his NFL career potentially approaching the end after his contract ends with the Cowboys in 2026, it appears he has something to fall back on after his NFL career. Don't be surprised if you see Brandon Cooks back on the TV screen or maybe even the movie screen after his NFL career is over. In an interview with SB Nation's Canal Street Chronicles, Cooks mentioned he always dreamed of being an actor and actually swung by the set of NCIS New Orleans when he played for the Saints just to hang out with the cast and crew. Up next, drafted 28th overall, the Carolina Panthers is the big Florida State wideout, Kelvin Benjamin. Benjamin's NFL career began with promise, recording over 1,000 yards as a rookie. However, a torn ACL cost him his 2015 season, and unfortunately, he could never get back to his stellar college football self. Benjamin struggled with consistency and conditioning issues. Some say it was due to his lingering medical issues. Others believe it was because of family issues like his mother passing away around the same time as his injury. He would eventually be traded to the Bills in 2017, but even struggled there too. After journeyman-style stints with the Chiefs and Giants, Benjamin was out of the league by 2021. There's no doubt that his rookie year was his best, and the rest of his career was disappointing at best. I think Kelvin Benjamin would agree with that take. Just take a look at this altercation with Cam Newton during preseason warm-ups back in 2018. Cam Newton is notorious for approaching players he's had disagreements with in the past, and Kelvin Benjamin is no different. After Benjamin left Carolina, he had a few choice words to say during an interview with The Athletic. He feels he could have been more successful if he was drafted by another team that had a better quarterback than Cam Newton. Any other accurate quarterback like Rodgers or Eli Manning or Big Ben. Those are his words, not mine. Some people feel he should have been converted to a tight end or not have been lazy with his conditioning. Either way, Benjamin had an unfortunate and disappointing career and is now laying low out of the public eye and not on social media. Overall grade for Kelvin Benjamin's career, C-. Drafted 39th overall, Marqise Lee had a promising start to his NFL career, with his best season coming in 2016 when he earned 850 receiving yards with the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, once again, another wide receiver from the NFL class of 2014 suffered a devastating knee injury in 2018 and never fully recovered from all of his injuries. His career would end in 2020 after quick stops in New England and San Francisco. But the one highlight that will live with him forever is his off-the-field work back in his hometown of Inglewood, California. Marqise Lee is working with youth football programs and mentoring young athletes while spending quality time with his beautiful wife and kids and playing celebrity golf and poker tournaments. Not too bad of a life after the NFL. Overall grade for Marqise Lee, D+. Jordan Matthews was drafted 42nd overall by the Philadelphia Eagles. Matthews was a solid contributor during his first 3 seasons with the Eagles, posting back-to-back 800-yard seasons. However, inconsistent play damaged his career, and he bounced around the league with stints in Buffalo, New England, and San Francisco. He tried to transition to tight end in 2021, but did not find success in that position either. He did have a couple of big plays in his career, including this overtime walk-off catch for a touchdown and win against the Cowboys, but those highlights are few and far between. He is still in the NFL, but he's on the practice squad for the Carolina Panthers. I know we are all pulling for him to get on the active roster soon. Overall grade for Jordan Matthews as of 2024, C. And finally, the 8th and final wide receiver selected before Davante Adams is Paul Richardson from Colorado. Paul Richardson, selected in the 2nd round of the NFL draft by the Seattle Seahawks, showed flashes of brilliance during his time in Seattle. His big play ability earned him a lucrative contract with Washington in 2018 with the old owner Dan Snyder and President George Allen, who loved to pay veterans hefty contracts to play for their team. He signed a 5-year, $40 million contract with Washington in 2018. But injuries limited his effectiveness and was another bust from this 2014 draft class. He was out of the league by 2021, but his acrobatic touchdown catch against the Detroit Lions in the 2016 playoffs remains one of the best of his career highlights. Overall grade for Paul Richardson, C-. So out of all of the teams that overlooked Davante Adams, he has proved them all wrong with his incredible NFL career. Davante Adams' journey from a 2nd-round draft pick by the Green Bay Packers to one of the NFL's best receivers is nothing short of remarkable. After a slow start to his career, Adams became Aaron Rodgers' go-to target. He has recorded over 1,000 receiving yards in 4 seasons, led the league in touchdowns twice, and is a 2-time All-Pro. Now with the New York Jets and back with Aaron Rodgers, Adams continues to keep defenses on their toes despite all of the woes facing the Jets in 2024. The highlight of Adams' career came back in 2020 when he had one of the greatest single seasons for a wide receiver in NFL history with 115 receptions, 1,374 yards, and 18 touchdowns. His time in Las Vegas was short, and his reunion with Derek Carr from their playing days at Fresno State wasn't what they planned. But there is still no doubt that next to Mike Evans, Davante Adams is one of, if not the best wide receiver to come out of the 2014 draft. Overall grade for Davante Adams, 8+. Who do you think had the best career among these receivers? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified for more NFL content.